Hello, my friends. It's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis where I am journeying through my 40s and I am working so hard to get my poop in a group. Sometimes it feels like life is conspiring against me, like my cat is howling while I'm trying to record this video. But I promise I am trying so hard. In order to do this, I am working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today is Friday, September the 6th, and I am going to be doing a physical, I am not, I am going to be doing a financial health check in. And we have a lot to go over today. So if you are just here for the actual budget part, I'm going to put some timestamps below so you can skip to the budget, but you're going to miss a lot because this budget is different. This budget is changed. This budget is going to be evolving as budgets are, as they need to be. They need to be growing with us and changing with us, but if you are new, welcome. I am so thankful that you are here. I'm excited that you've decided to check me out. I hope that you find this information useful on probably what not to do, but maybe give you some tips on what you should do when your budget has to change due to unforeseen circumstances that are slightly beyond your control. Um, and also just how to create a regular budget that will work for you because your personal budget is so personal. And don't do what I'm doing because what I'm doing works for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Do what you need to do for your family and yourself. Um, if you're not new, welcome back. Y'all have seen the roller coaster that was my August, and I was hoping that August ended it. But the very first thing I did in September was go and buy a new car, which was not in my plans. It was not. I was planning to pay off. So my car was paid off, but I had used it as collateral for my debt consolidation loan. And that was going to be paid off in December. I have been working really hard, making extra payments to get that paid off in December. And then the transmission was going. And y'all, it's been going for like 3 months, and I've just been ignoring it. I've had my check engine light come on a couple of times. I've gotten it like figured out where I could make it work. We replaced different parts. We is Nathan. We is not me. I didn't do anything, but I paid for this stuff. I have sunk, I haven't sat down and added it up, but it was over $1,000. It was probably closer to $2,000 that I spent trying to get this car to where I could keep driving him and not have to buy a new car because I really didn't want to put a car payment into this budget. It's not that I can't do it, it's that I didn't want to do it because I want to go on vacations. I want to be able to spend extra money on things that I enjoy doing. Not that I'm taking the things I enjoy doing out of my budget, but I'm going to have to slim it down. And I didn't want to have to do that. But I do need a car. I live in Austin, which is, I don't know, I am thinking it's probably one of the least drivable cities, but that's because I grew up just outside of New York City and we had an amazing transportation system there. So what I'm used to is not what I have. I have to have a car. I can't even get to the grocery store without a car, or I'd have to pay for like an Uber or something, which is just not realistic. Um, and to replace a transmission in a car costs at least $5,000. That's a minimum. Um, because apparently it's a super labor intensive job. They have to take the whole transmission apart, fix whatever was wrong, and then put the whole transmission back together. I didn't know this until I started doing research to get my car fixed, and I was like, why is it so expensive? I looked up the recommendations for car repair, because I was like, if I can put this $5,000 into my car, I can get him to last another couple of years until I can save up some money to buy the car that I actually wanted. Not going to say I didn't buy a car that I like. I do love the car that I bought, but it is not the car that I was wanting to buy when I bought my next car, and I'm not planning to trade this guy in anytime soon. He's my car for hopefully the next 15 years, but we'll see. Anyway, I wanted to try to make him last. He had almost 103,000 miles on him, but the transmission was just going. It was go like I'd push on the gas and it would take a little bit to rev up. And then when it did, it would like rev all the way up. And then I'd have to let off the gas and then push on the gas again to get it to go. If I was going along, I couldn't use cruise control at all. I haven't been able to use cruise control in a couple of months because if I did that, it would just randomly rev, like randomly, and get stuck in high rev. And that's really bad. So I couldn't use cruise control, which I hated. And then if I drive along and hit a hill, because I live in the hill country of Texas, I was going out to see my mom on Sunday, which is what really drove it home that this isn't going to last me. Um, you'd hit a hill, you'd be going 70 miles an hour, and you'd hit a little hill and it would just drop to like 50 miles an hour. And that was with me flooring it, like gas pedal as far as I could get it. And I still couldn't get the car to go above 50, which is really dangerous because there's cars driving behind you and you're going 70 and all of a sudden you drop to 50, somebody's going to hit you. So I looked it up and the recommendations are if your repair is 30 to 40% of the value of your car, it is worth it to do you the repair. If it is greater than that, it is not worth it to put that money into your car. Now, obviously, that is just a general suggestion, and you have to make that decision for you. If my car was new, if my car was only 2 years old instead of almost 11 years old, no, it was 10 years old. If my car was 2 years old instead of 10 years old, I probably would have put the money into my car. But my car was 10 years old and had other problems as well, and, like, the paint was faded off the hood. I live in Texas. It's very sunny here. The paint was very faded. Um, it had stains and different things on the inside because of eating in the car and kids being in the car and just other issues. I mean, it worked fine other than the transmission, which is a big deal. But at best, I put it into Kelly Blue Book as fair condition, and at best, it was worth up to $6,000. And that was like best case scenario in the condition I put it in. That's probably for a private seller, which I'm not going to do to somebody. I'm not going to sell you my car with a bad transmission. That's just something I don't want to do. But anyway, obviously $5,000 is more than 30 or 40% of $6,000. So I decided that it was time to get a new car. It was not a fun decision. I had a little bit of a meltdown, a breakdown on Monday night. I'm sorry, on Sunday night when I was trying to figure out how much I could spend and if I even really wanted to do this. Poor Nathan, he puts up with me. He's not even, he's just my friend. He's just my roommate, but he's an amazing friend. And he had to listen to my whole existential crisis about how I've worked so hard on this budget. And I really didn't want to put a car payment into it. But then I sat down and I did the numbers and I figured out that I can pay up to $500 a month comfortably by cutting some things out. And I looked up on Kia because I love Kia. Like this is my third, the one that I just bought is now my third Kia. And I love them. They're great cars. They come with an amazing warranty. 100,000 miles or 10 years. Like, that's great. My warranty just ended on this car that I traded in. Like, it just ended. Of course it did, because now my transmission went out. But anyway, so I looked at the cars. If you have been around for at least a year or so, you'll know that what I really want is a Sportage, and what I really, really want is a hybrid Sportage. But those cars are, first of all, you can't buy a hybrid. Like, they're just, you'd have to wait for it. And secondly, the Sportages are about $10,000 more than the Kia Souls. I've already driven two Kia Souls. I know I love this car. I know my mom can get into and out of this car. I know it gets great gas mileage. And everybody associates me with a Soul. I was talking to my friends on Sunday, like after church. I took my mom to lunch because it was actually my dad's birthday on Sunday. It was also the anniversary of his like funeral, the day we buried him, which was a hard decision to make, to bury your dad on his birthday, but it just, that's the way it worked out, and everybody was already in town. Um, so anyway, I won't go into that. But so Sunday was a hard day. I went in to see my mom, which is why I was driving and noticing how bad my car was performing. I have friends, and I've mentioned my friend whose mother passed away a couple of weeks ago. They go to church with my mom, and so they came to lunch with us. I invited them to come to lunch with us. And Jason, Michelle's husband, was he used to sell cars for years. He sold cars, and so I was talking to him about like his opinions and what he thought I should do. And he was saying that first, yes, don't ever get your transmission fluids changed. By the way, apparently that's probably what did it, is changing your transmission fluid. And I'd heard that, but it was too late. I'd already done it because apparently Michelle's car was in the shop and they told her they needed to do a transmission flush. And Jason was like, do not let them touch that. Don't touch that. I wish somebody had told me that, but nobody did. And I had my transmission flush done when I got right before the transmission went out, basically right before all these problems started happening. It was a couple of months ago. They did a transmission flush. Anyway, I forgot why I was talking about them. He was saying, what was I talking? I was talking about trading in my car, Kia Souls. Oh, because he was saying, I don't even know what I would do if you weren't driving a Soul. Like, you drive a Soul. And I was like, I know, I drive a Soul. So it was it wasn't a hard decision to buy a Soul, though it was just not what I was originally wanting. I was wanting a Sportage. So I looked at the car. It's $10,000 cheaper than the Sportage. So my actual total, the car was what I ended up financing was under $30,000. I put $3,000 down, which you will see is on my Capital One card, which I will now be coming up with plan to pay off, but I will have to pay some interest on that. There's just no avoiding it. I don't have $3,000 sitting here. I just don't have it. But I put oh, I'm in October. I just realized there's an October on here. Put $3,000 down and my trade in, which they only gave me about $4,500 for, which is fine. I'm happy with the $4,500 because, like I said, the top tier was only $6,000. So getting a trade in value of $4,500 isn't bad. Um, and then I added gap insurance, of course, because you have to have gap insurance on a new car. And then I added an upgraded warranty package that allows so that 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty only covers like the powertrain, and then the other parts of it all have different warranties. That one is 3 years, and I think one is 5 years. This package upped everything to the 10-year, 100,000 miles. So that was great. It came with 2 free oil changes, which I didn't care about that part, but I did all of that. I got all the discounts. I put the money down, and total out the door, it was like 20, including all the interest. So this is the total financed amount was like $28,000. So I'm happy. It was the fastest I have ever bought a car because I have, y'all, I have YNAB. I have been doing this budget. My credit is in a really good place. It was higher, but because I applied for that care credit card, it dropped a little bit. So when they ran my credit, it was in the 740s, which is the highest my credit has ever been when I went to buy a car. I was able to get approval through Kia Finance. I've never been approved through the dealership's like finance company. They've always had to go to like special banks. So I got a pretty good interest rate. It is, I mean, it's not a good interest rate, but for right now, car buying prices, it's a good interest rate. And I'm hoping to refinance it through either my bank or another credit union once I get the license on my car. Because it's my understanding that you have to wait. Do you have to wait? Have you purchased a car? Can I just go refinance it? Because my bank's rates are not super great, but they're like very slightly less than this one I'm paying. But I don't think it would be worth it to refinance it with my bank. But there's another credit union in town that has like a 1.5 limit, like 1.5% decrease from what I'm paying. So what my rate is 6.5, which is actually lower than the other ones that I have with my bank. So I'm happy with it for now. In order to make this work, I had to change my budget up. So that's what I've been doing. And here are the plans that I am making on how to fit this into my budget. Um, I'm going to have to cut down on some things. That was not what I wanted to do, but I need to make this work and make some changes. So I cut my pet expenses in half. Please don't panic when you see that my pet expenses are now at $75 and not $150. Emmett is still here. He is still happy and his pain is being controlled. But I decided to cut them to $75 because I'm going to try to, like, they're not eating, they don't eat very much food. So I still have a lot of the food left from last month. Um, and I'm hoping to make it last. I'll probably have to buy at least one more bag of Emmett's food, but I probably won't have to buy that for much longer. And then Chad's food, I've started getting at Costco and it's only like $45, I think, is what I pay, $35. It's much cheaper. So with that and my cat and then the dog toppers, I think I can keep it to 75 because Nathan has started taking over all of the medication part for Emmett. So that's my goal. We'll see. This is a trial run. We're going to see what I can do. I have lowered, so if you've been here, you'll know my ecclesial expenses are my church donation. And every week I budget $60 to put into the donation and $20 to go out for a meal. I do think that the going out for a meal with people after church is very important. It is very important. It's part of the fellowship, in my opinion. But what I have decided to do is to lower that donation to $60. I'm still keeping the $60 donation, but I'm going to take that $20 out of my budget. And I'm going to increase my dining out from $40 a week to back to $50 a week, which is what it used to be, in the hopes that I can use, because we don't always go out for a meal. So I don't always end up using that money anyway. So if I can use that dining out money to go out with them, I'm going to see how this works. I did pull it out of that category for a reason and put it separately, but I'm going to try it now that I've been doing this for long enough and I know what I need. I've halved my, well, not halved, but I've cut my coffee budget. I was doing $25 a week and I'm going to try to do only $15 a week. Full disclosure, a lot of what I was spending was me buying smoothies for Nathan while I was there because he wasn't with me. And I'd go to the gym and then I'd go get coffee and then I'd pick him up a smoothie. I've told him I can't do that anymore. So hopefully I will be able to stick to my $15 a week. That is two coffees. And then sometimes like I use the app and I get points and sometimes I get a free drink. So that'll just be a bonus drink. But I do make my coffee at home. This is my coffee I'm drinking this morning. Um, so I can do it at home. I changed my car insurance from Geico to Progressive, and I was able to lower it. So my car insurance had gone up significantly for this next renewal cycle. And but when I put in my new car and it's still got the Mitsubishi on it, which that will be coming off in like 2 months, Lord willing, I'm excited. That'll help even more. But when I put it all in, it went up like another $20 a month. So my car payment for October was going to be like $350. Not my car payment, my car insurance payment. It did go back down a little bit after that, but it was like ridiculous amounts of money. And I was like, I don't know. Like the car insurance is just getting out of hand. So I checked with Progressive and it's at like what did I pay? 250, I think. 250 every month for 6 months. I'm doing that. That's cheaper than what my current one is. I did up my deductible to $1,000 instead of $500, but other than that, it's the same coverage. I took off roadside assistance because my new car has roadside assistance on it, like included in the plan that I have. So I didn't need to pay for that, but I do still have the rental car coverage, all the full because you have to have full coverage when you have a financed car. So changed from Geico to Progressive. That will be effective on the 11th because apparently there's like a discount for waiting 10 days or something. I don't know, but it's going to be effective on the 11th. I have already paid for the first month and canceled my Geico effective the 11th. And Geico told me how much they're going to refund me. I think it was like $170. And they're going to send me a check. Like they're not going to auto deposit the money into my account, which would be super fantastic. But that's not how companies operate because I guess they're just hoping I'm going to lose that check or something. I am not. I am going to deposit that check. I need that money. But for now, had to pay two insurance payments this month because I paid for my regular Geico and then I also paid for Progressive. Um, so I'm excited to have that. That's going to be a lower payment. And then my editing software is about to renew. It renews on the 24th of this month. It was $140 plus taxes and everything. I think it was like $170. I'm going back to Filmora. I haven't gone back yet. I still have this software and I need to figure out like how to pull the videos off of it and refamiliarize myself with Filmora, which is what I used to use. And I changed because I didn't like that. I didn't have all of the like subscribe and all that stuff. But it's half the price. It was like $60 for the year instead of $150, $170, whatever it was. $60 for the year is a lot less. It's a lot less. So I paid for that. I have that. I'm going to start playing around with it. But that means my picture will be visible to me again. Because, like, right now, if y'all remember when I first switched to this software, I like literally had meltdowns, like in tears, because I would forget to shrink myself before going and doing my budgeting. Because right now you can see I'm covering a lot of the screen, which is fine when I'm just talking to you. But when I'm trying to show you my budget, you couldn't see my budget and I can't see me. All I see is my budget on the screen. So I would forget that you couldn't see me, that you couldn't see my screen. So I made a little sticky that said they can't see, which I don't have. And I slept wrong, so my neck is weird. But I made a little sticky and I'd leave it on my screen for like like for a long time. I left it here. So because I kept forgetting to shrink myself. So you would have like entire videos of me talking about what I was doing, but you couldn't see a thing. That won't be a problem anymore when I go back to Filmora. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to change up some of the way I'm doing my videos anyway, change up the intro and things. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So those are the main ways I'm going to be cutting things out of my budget, lowering some of my expenses. And obviously I'll look here and there if I can find cuts, I will, but that's what I came up with off the top of my head and I worked out my budget for the rest of the year, even paying the full car insurance because I know it's not going to be the full car insurance and if it is, Seth's going to be paying for his part of it. But I stopped including Seth's payments and I kept including the full car payment for the whole year. And I can still do it. So again, it makes my budget not exactly what I want. Yes, I'd rather have $25 a week for my coffee than only 15. Yes, I'd rather have the full money to go out for a meal after church on Sunday instead of lumping it into my dining out category. But this is how I'm trying to make this work, and we'll see how it goes for the next couple of months. Now, now it is 7:30 and I am going to shrink myself up into the corner so we can get started. For one of the last times, not the last time because I think I have next week before this software expires, but for one of the last times, I'm going to pause and I will be right back. So here we are in my September budget. Oh, before we get started, I want to tell you about the targets. If you watched last week's video, you will know that I was having a hard time figuring out why my targets were acting wonky. Turns out my targets were legit acting wonky. It was YNAB, it wasn't me. There's a bug. So in case you are also experiencing this, or if you're just starting out in YNAB and you think that it's weird, there is a bug. They are aware and they are working on it. I reached out to customer service, but I did it from my work computer, so I don't have that conversation saved. I meant to take a screenshot and include it here, and I totally forgot. So if I still have it on my work computer, I'll email it to myself and add it to this. But otherwise, I can't show you. But they said, if you remember when I went into September and I tried to put in my holiday giving, I think it was holiday giving was one. Okay, y'all, my brain. Holiday giving, right there. You will see I snoozed this target because I didn't want it to ask me. But I have this target set up. I will need $1,000 by December, and I don't want it to like ask me for a certain amount every month. I only want it to fund up to $1,000 because I'm going to be spending from this as I go. I have funded more than $302.85 into this category. I've just been buying things all year round. So I've already spent some of the money. I only need to add about $85 every month in order to reach that goal. But this month, it reset all of my goals. You see how it says funded $0? That's not accurate. I funded $85. So it's acting weird. And they said they are aware. And she said the way you can tell is if you see this gray circle around the check mark. If you see a gray circle, that means that this target is broken. And she gave me a whole list of my targets that were broken. And the way you fix it is to delete your target and re-add it. I'm not going to delete this specific target because I've already funded a bunch and it's a like spend from target and I don't know how much I've spent and how much I've put in here. So I'm not going to delete this one. Hopefully I'll just leave this one until they fix it and I'm just going to snooze it. But the other one that I really noticed it on was, and when we come down here, you will notice that YNAB is empty. I did pull that $118 out of YNAB, so I'm going to have to start funding YNAB again, but that's okay. I also pulled the money out of registration and inspection because obviously I don't need to register and inspect my brand new car. They do that for you at the dealership. And then I believe it's a 2-year registration that you get. Used to be. I haven't bought a car in 10 years, so maybe that's changed. But we'll see. What app? Oh, it's going to be, wasn't my emergency fund. It's this one. Mission Lane annual fee was the one that I brought to their attention. So I say I need $59 every year by January 25th. And I've already funded, you can see $48.68, and yet it says I have $0 funded. So I'm going to delete this target and reset it. $59 by January 25th. Let me see if I can do it. I'm going to delete. I'm going to create a target. I need $59. What just happened? Create target. I need is my number lock off? $59 by the 25th of January. Oh, yearly. Okay, I was like, why is that not giving me by January 25th? I haven't tested this, so we're testing this together. And then next year, I want to set aside another $59 and let's save that target. There. Nope, it's still saying that I've only assigned $3.34. Well, at least it's recognizing the money that I put in this month, but it's still not recognizing all of the available money. 45.68. Let me move 45.68 out and then put 45.68 in. Okay, at least now it shows that I have the whole thing. If you don't want to reset all of your targets, know that they are working on this, but if you want it to be accurate, because they don't know how long it's going to take, at least they didn't as of yesterday when they gave me this information, um, then I guess go ahead and delete your targets and re-add them. So for me, I'm going to do that off camera. I'm not going to make y'all watch me do all of this. I just wanted to tell you that it wasn't me. I was so sure it was user error, but it really wasn't me. There was something wrong with it. So we don't have a ton to budget today. It's going to be just a little bit. Did you see that? Hang on, now I have $88.02 plus 45.58. Okay. Oh, nope, that didn't work. That did not work. Now it says I only have $3.24. I'm just going to snooze this target and move on with my day. I was like, wait, why is this number so low? This is not what I had. Okay, we're moving on with the day. I have to do my envelopes and my sinking funds, and that's all we have. And then I'm going to go to work. And it's only 7:40, so hopefully I can finish a little early, but we'll see. So, as I said, I am upping my dining out from $40 to $50 every week, but this is now going to include my meal after church. So we'll see if I can do that. I initially started lowering my grocery budget, and then I said that is not realistic because I'm having already a hard time sticking to just $100. I don't want to take any money out of there. I'm still going to give myself $10 every week for fun money. I did not mean to do that. Clicked that too many times. $10 a week for fun money. And now only $60 a week for ecclesial expenses and $15 a week for coffee. So those are my every single week categories that I am keeping and changed up a little bit. That's what I'm planning to do. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll reevaluate. That is one of the beauties of YNAB. I can track things, I can look at them, I can play around with them as I need to. This app is amazing. And I am going to tell y'all, if you're new or if you're not new, you will know that if you've watched a couple of videos at least, my last couple of months have just been chaotic and all over the place with finances. I have been whamming left and right, which means whack-a-mole, which is where you just move money from one category to another category to cover expenses between vacations and medical expenses and my puppies and now my car. Life has just come at me. And if it weren't for YNAB, I can with 100% certainty tell you I would not have been able to handle this. My credit wouldn't have been good enough to just go buy a car. If it was, I would have not gotten a great rate. I wouldn't have had the money to cover my medical expenses, which thankfully I did, but I wouldn't have. I don't know what I would have done. I probably wouldn't have been able to go on any of the trips I took. This app has helped me so, so much to get my finances in order. And so even when life happens, like it's happened in the last month or so, I'm okay. No, I'm not meeting my goals. No, I'm not where I want to be. But I am able to pay my bills and still put money in for dining out and still put money in for fun and still put money in for self-care and save for some sinking funds that I need to save for. And I would not be able to do that without this app. If you are also struggling and would like to try out this app, there is a link in my description box to try it out for 34 days for free. If you like it, at that point, and only then, you will put in your credit card information to pay for your subscription. Up until then, they don't have your credit card information, so they're not going to sneakily like subscribe you and forget to cancel your membership. They can't. You try it for 34 days. You set up your budget. Every single thing in here you can remove, you can change around, you can rename, you can move it to a different place in your budget if you want to. I don't want to, but it's completely customizable. 34 days, totally free. And then if you like it, you sign up. They will send you an additional 30 days for free. So you'll get 64 days for free. And then as a thank you, they do send me 30 days for free as well. So I cannot tell y'all how great this app is. It has saved me so much, so many times. And at times like this, when everything is just all over the place, is where I really, really am thankful that I have this app because on the weekly basis, it's seems to get a little mundane. I keep putting the same money into the same categories and then I pay my bills and then I have to refund them. But when things like this happen, this is when I'm thankful for this app. And if I wasn't doing the mundane every single week, putting the money into the categories, I wouldn't have it. I know YNAB isn't for everybody. I know a lot of people are cash budgeters or paper budgeters, and I am also a paper budgeter. I have a paper budget. Um, so if YNAB is not for you, if you're not a digital budgeter, but get a budget, y'all. If you don't have a budget, you need a budget. Even if you don't use, you need a budget. You need a budget. Um, don't listen to Dave. There's not only one way to do it. You don't have to cut out all your fun in order to be a good budgeter. Because if you're like me, if you try to do that, then you don't budget anything because then you just go off the rails and spend all the money, all your rent money on going out one night. That's not okay. That's how I did it for years. I was in a horrible financial position when I started this budget, and I am so, so, so thankful to have YNAB in my life. So anyway, I know I always do a little spiel, but I am so even more than normal thankful for this app right now that it's a little bit more emotional, a little bit longer. So sorry about that. Anyway, the link is in my description box if you want to try it out. It is a paid subscription, but it is worth every penny plus. Like I tried it out for the 30 days and I immediately within a couple of days was like, I have to have this app. It was a lot less money when I signed up because it was 4 years ago and it's increased a little bit, but everything has gone up. So of course they have to pay their employees and do their things, so they have to go up too. But it's still not bad. $118, that's including tax for the whole year. So you have peace of mind. Peace of mind is worth that, if nothing else. Okay, moving on. We only have a couple more to do, I promise. So that was all my cash envelopes. And now I'm going to go do the rest of my sinking funds. If you were here last week, you'll know that I do my sinking funds. I do them in two because I use the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck book to set up my budget, and she doesn't give me enough spaces to do all of my sinking funds. I have a lot of sinking funds. Um, I have a lot of things I'm paying for. So I paid, there's a bunch of them that are already in here, and then I'm going to do the rest of them. So my ice ball, which I did add this category, I'm going to still be putting $20 away because that is something that is important to me, and I don't want to not have that funded. Editing software. Oh, I thought I saw it up here. I was like, wait, why do I have that twice? The editing software, I've changed it from Wondershare to Cyberlink, and now I'm changing it back to, I'm just going to call it editing software. I took all the money out of here because I paid $67.59 for the annual subscription last night and set it back down to zero. 75.59 is what it is set to auto renew on the 5th of September next year. So I just set it up as a goal that I want $75.59 by next September 1st. And that means I have to put $8 aside this month. Even though I did that, is this one of the broken targets? Why does it say I have $75.59? Oh, I forgot. Okay. It's showing yellow because I told it I have that $140.71, which was not accurate. It was like $170 coming out, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to go figure out where I have that set up. Probably checking my checking account. Uh, 140. Those are all my scheduled transactions. If you use YNAB and you have things that you know come out on a regular basis, you can set up scheduled transactions so It's not on there. Nope, it's not on there. Oh, I need to cancel Chewy. I don't need them at syringes next month. I have plenty. I don't think I'm gonna have to order anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna find out what account that is set up to come out of and go cancel it in YNAB. I already canceled it with the actual like software company, so they're not gonna charge me. I just gotta tell YNAB they're not gonna charge me. Um, so okay, sorry, back to this. Going back down here. Um, Editing software is good, and then I haven't started a new YNAB goal. I'll do that next month. It's not due till September of next year. Find me gluten-free, says it's done. It's not. I need another $2.75 in here. Yeah, this is, I'm going to snooze this target. These targets are all acting wonky, and I don't like it. So I promise it's not normally like this, and they are working on it. They are aware. That's it. That's everything I have. So that leaves me $60.70 to roll into next week. Seth will also be giving me his money for his car payment and his insurance this week. So that will be added when you come back next week. I will have this money, I will have Seth's money, and I will have a paycheck to budget out. So I am going to put this money into my next week category, 60.97. So everything is assigned. Every dollar has a job. I am good to go. This was ranty, this was rambly. I had a lot of updates for y'all, and I did go on a little bit of a long YNAB spiel. Also, Gina, thank you so much for using my Clever Fox affiliate link to order your new planner. I am going to be ordering another planner because this is my gratitude journal that they sent me. And it's almost done, and I'm going to order another journal. I'm not sure if I'll do another gratitude journal or something like it, but I use this as part of my mental health journey that I don't really film a lot of videos for, but I am still doing. I am still working on that for myself. But this is just about full. I need to order another planner. If you are interested in a Clever Fox planner, they have budget planners, they have fitness planners, they have wellness planners, they have like meal planners. You can, if anything you can think of that you will write down, they have planners, including just blank notebook planners. And I will put my Clever Fox affiliate link in the description box below, and that will get you 10% off of your order if you use that. And also, they send me a small percentage of it as well. So thank you so much for helping me and getting really good products. Like, I do love this planner, it's great. Okay. It's 7:50, y'all. I'm going to go. I hope y'all have a wonderful Friday and an amazing weekend. And I hope that your life is less chaotic than mine, but if it's not, I hope that you have a good budget in place to help you like I do. I love y'all, and I will talk to you later. Bye.